Hey, this is Paul with ProShop. I want to talk about something that happens in machine shops all the time, or really any company all the time. And that is someone needing to relay a piece of information to other people and that failing to happen. So a prime example is you get a request for quote from a customer, your estimating or sales department goes to quote that job, and there's some information that needs to be passed down if you win the job to the rest of the team. Most ERP systems don't even think about this type of a thing, except perhaps a notes field on the quote or something like that. But ProShop, since it was built in a machine shop that we owned for many years, and we had this same kind of problem all the time, we built a pretty neat feature that I'd like to share with you. It's called process development. And the way it works is it starts at the beginning of the estimating process, and it is a workflow that allows you to capture items that need to be resolved, reviewed, addressed, or handled in some way in the future. It starts in the estimating department. If the project is won, then that translates right down into the parts module, where the same functionality is used for the manufacturing staff to communicate with one another and have a record of things like process improvements that might want to be handled, um, new new changes that need to be put into a process because there's a rev change or other things like that. So let's use this page here as an example. Here we have this estimate, right, for this part number right here, this 3D block pad. And we'll notice right up here in this top area, there is this note to get a special form cutter because it's a long lead time, right? Brian identified that one, and then it was changed to resolved later, and they did that. They ordered that tool. So when we again, now that that project has moved down into the shop floor, it's moved into parts and work orders module. Now we have some additional items, and this is coming from the part module. They're both displayed here on the same page, so they're easy to see. But here's a note about optimizing the program for next time. That was associated with work order 200087, right? I was the project manager on that job, so I put that note on there for next time. And then Brian implemented that. He said they saved about 2.5 minutes apart, so that's great. You can see that's been implemented. Next here is another one about updating the run description with some new tools, and then that was reviewed and assigned. That one has not been resolved yet. And then some other ones down here as well, including a note to make sure we use the mallet. And we can even go take a look at the actual run description for this. This is the operator work instructions. So here's an example screen capture from the CAD system, CAM system, about how its work holding is done, what kind of torque to use. Real simple, hit press the cycle start button, deburr, and then there's that rubber hammer we're going to use as a mallet to tap it down. So anyway, just a little example of one of the features in ProShop that really makes it different than other systems. And this feature often becomes a real favorite amongst machinists and programmers, and obviously the estimating department as well, to use in their special cases. Before I let you go, one last thing that we use it for. Let's say, for example, you deliver a job to a client, and then they email you back and they say, hey, thanks for the parts. Overall, they look great, but would you please deburr this one edge a little bit better next time? You know, we took care of it. It's not a rejection. It's just a friendly reminder. Someone in customer service or sales can easily go into the part level, add that note that they need to deburr that edge better, and then that's all they need to do. They don't need to remind anybody. They don't need to tell anyone about it, because the next time that part gets ordered, if it gets ordered again, um, that note will automatically make a flag and pop up a proactive reminder into our planning or engineering department that that needs to be resolved. So whenever you have items that are unresolved, it will automatically remind people the next time the order gets placed. So you might not, so you don't need to go, address that thing right now or send an email to somebody or put a post-it note on their desk that'll get lost. You just put the note and call it good. And again, proactive reminder will be launched next time the order gets placed. So hopefully that you can see how that could solve some issues in your shop. ProShop is full of really cool little features like that that really set us apart from other systems. So hope that was useful, and thanks very much for watching.